Your character in Viper Room, Sam, is a crisis zone journalist. I was wondering, what sort of research you did to kind of inform that characterization and maybe what you learned throughout that process.
Yeah, our director, Miriam Keshavarz, was an amazing resource. She had done so much work and spent so much time with foreign correspondents, and she put me in touch with a lot of great documentaries that were incredibly helpful. Restrepo, Hell on Earth, and one of the people who created that documentary is Nick Quested, who collaborated with Sebastian Junger on it, and he was just an incredible resource. The information he gave me about what type of person gravitates towards this type of job, what a day in their life is like, what something like the Viper Club would be like in real life. He just laid out the whole landscape for me and was a great resource for me, so I'm in debt to him.
And when you say what the Viper Club would be like in real life, it is based on, in fact, this sort of private online resource, right?
It truly exists. It's factual. It's an accountability group amongst crisis zone journalists, so that when they go into an area like Syria, they know safe places to stay. They know good contacts for landlords. They know where they can get their money exchanged. They know how to get across the border. Anything they would need in that area that would provide them a safe experience and enable them to do their job in the best way they can is all provided in within this club.
What were your impressions of Miriam, and had you had a chance to see her previous film, Circumstance?
I did see the film. That was a big reason why I wanted to be a part of this. I think Miriam's an incredible director. We plan to work together again on other projects. I love her process. It's really unique and not overly precious, and she just trusts the artistic process and the fluidity of it in a way that I've seen very few directors do. I think she's an incredibly intelligent and capable director, and I look forward to working with her again.
You share many scenes, obviously, in this film with Susan Sarandon. Your character, Sam, represents, for her character, Helen, sort of a lifeline to a part of her son that she didn't really know a lot about, or maybe didn't want to let herself know a lot about. What sort of conversations, I guess, did you have with Miriam about rehearsing those scenes, and I guess just your impressions of building that relationship with Susan?
Well, look, Susan's such an icon, and I think one of the reasons why she's been able to work with everyone in the business and every director in the business is because she makes your job so easy. It's so hard to walk onto a set with someone like that who you have so many preconceived notions about and whose work you have cataloged in your mind, an entire career's worth of work, and she's able to really disarm you and just bring you right into the scene, and her work on the character was so specific and grounded that you just dropped in immediately. But this wasn't, this is a highly independent film, so it wasn't one where we had time to sit down and rehearse. You showed up to work and you rehearsed the scene and then you did it, so you had to come as your man or your woman and just get to the brass tacks of doing the scene work immediately.
Wrapping up, this film tells the story, fairly specific story, I would say, of an American mother and her relationship with her government, trying to facilitate the safe return of her son. For international audiences, though, that maybe are not don't have the same perspective on this story, what elements, what themes do you think will most resonate?
I think it'll speak to people politically, and I think it will also speak to people as parents. I know that's what hit me in the gut when I first read the script, is just how painful and difficult, and my heart went out to so many people who've been through this, and the fact that there are policies in place that are just hard and fast that you can't get around unless you're willing to communicate with someone like the Viper Club and circumnavigate the law and do what you feel is morally right. And so there's a moral question, there's a political question, and there's a question of just being a parent, because I know if it were me and it were one of my sons over there, I'd do whatever it took to bring them home.